Hello friends, how are you? Bonjour les amis, comment ça va? आदाब, सलाम, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल, नमस्कार, कैसे हैं? Friends, we know that almost everyone in his life or her life thinks at least once about migration to another country, to immigrate to another country. If you are one of those, you must have thought about immigrating to either Canada, USA, any other country in Europe, or Middle East, or Turkey, or Australia, or New Zealand. But your decision is normally based on a number of factors. Today in this video, I'm going to compare the reasons and the differences between the two countries that are Canada and Australia. And I will compare and explain why should one move to Canada or Australia if that person plans to. In fact, there are a number of factors that people normally consider. This includes weather between the two countries. For example, if someone is willing to live his life and enjoy winter activities, so that person would prefer Canada because Canada has about 6 to 7 months of winter and at least 5 to 6 months of snow. But on the other hand, if someone likes to beach enjoyment and wants to have a warm climate change, that person would like to go to Australia. And because they have beaches, it's an entire island, and you can have more fun. But then there's a compromise, a trade-off between sun over snow. There are also other factors like geographical location. Canada has advantage of being closer to United States. Australia is closer to Asia, so that's also could be a factor. Other factor includes like education system and health system, income tax rates, differentials. But in this video, I'm going to explain only the living standard in between the two countries. So I would compare how much it costs a person who earns minimum wage in Canada, and I compare the living style of that person with a person who works on the minimum wage and earns that wage in. All right, friends. So now compare cost of living in Australia versus Canada. This is cost of living I have taken from various reports published in Australia and also in Canada. It's a minimum cost of living for two people, like for a couple. So as you can see, Australia housing is more expensive than Canada. For a month, on average, the housing costs around $2,250, and housing rent could be way higher if someone wants to live in a bigger town like Sydney or Melbourne. But if someone prefers to live in a suburb, the house price can go to $1,800 in Australia. So on average, about $2,250 per month is the cost of uh, one bedroom apartment in Australia. In Canada, housing is cheaper than Australia. It is around $2,044 on average. Obviously, much higher in a bigger city, about $2,270 if someone prefers to live into bigger city like Toronto or Vancouver. But if the person lives in a small city, the rent or the cost of housing is around $1,800 for a small city. So in total, $2,000 Canada. In Canada, you can live in a one-bedroom apartment. Food cost is almost the same in both countries, about $500 each. There are financial services that cost around $200, and those include your life insurance, your health insurance, or your other kind of insurances that you have. So, like a car insurance, something like that. So, those are the financial services. They cost around the same in both countries, $200 per month. Utilities in total, which includes hydro, electricity and hydro or electricity or and gas and water. So that cost around $250 in Australia, a bit cheaper in Canada, or $200. Other cost is about having a cell phone or getting an internet or TV, cable TV. That costs $70 around in Australia and 80 in Canada. Transportation costs are much higher in Australia. It's almost 100% more than, actually more than 100% in Australia, because gas prices are very high in Australia compared to Canada. So on average, a couple expects around $330 per month to spend on transportation, and which is less than compared with Canada, the cost is around $150 per month. And then remaining is about eating out. It depends on the couple, how many times the person wants to eat outside. But on average, it's about once in a month, and it costs around the same $100 for one night out in a month. And the same price is the same in Australia and in Canada. And then we just added $100 more for miscellaneous that we don't have to count. For example, you go for tipping or go for a tour or something like that. That's miscellaneous. It's $100 per month. So in total, what is happening in Australia, monthly expenses for a couple living in one bedroom apartment is $3,800, which turns out to be $45,618 per year. Living expenses in Canada is $3,375 per month, which turns out to be $40,490 on an annual basis. So you can see here, Canadian living standard is a little bit lower. Here, people can live about 10% less expenses compared to Australia. So now we see, okay, so there is some saving about $5,000 or $5,000 by living in Canada. So now we have to see and check if what is the income in Canada. So in terms of cost of living, Canada wins. Now we compare income level in Australia versus Canada. There is a big difference. In Australia, minimum wage is $20 per hour. And in Canada, it is $15 or $14 to $15 per hour on average. So a couple who is working 40 hours per week can make in Australia $84,570 per year. But in Canada, the same couple, if that person works, those two people work in Canada, makes $62,400 every year. So both couples are working 40 hours per week. If this is a gross income, so if we subtract about 20 to 23% income tax from that 84,570, in Australia, a couple would make after tax $67,660, whereas in Canada, the same couple would make $49,920. Now compare it with the expenses. So in Australia, living expenses were 45,620. So if we subtract that expenses out of the net income of 67,660, that couple will have net savings of $22,040 every year. However, in Canada, the same couple who is working 40 hours a week at a lower minimum wage, and although he has lower expenses in Canada, still after subtracting $40,490 of expenses in Canada from his net income of $49,920, the couple is able to save only $9,430. So by that comparison, a couple living in Australia earns more, saves more. So that's the situation. So in conclusion, where a couple would like to live, purely based on living standard, ignoring the income, a person is better off living in Canada, migrating to Canada. In terms of income, a person is better off immigrating to Australia. But up top of that, the main point is about your geographical location, which country you like, which culture you like. You like more Canadian culture or Australian culture? You like to be closer to United States or to the Asian countries, booming Asian economies, or you like summer or winter, what weather you like. So it all depends on that. But on economic terms, that's the situation where living standard is lower, cost of living is lower in Canada, but income level for a minimum wage earner is higher in Australia. So it depends on your decision, where do you like to migrate. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe my channel. Leave your comments, press the bell button so that you could get new videos, and those videos are coming almost every month. See you next time. Bye bye.